Thank you, Nitin Ambure and Farooq Patel, for joining us at such short notice. You would have seen from the questions that we've already sent you that many investors are all at sea on how to ensure correct compliance with all the forms that you've sent. I'm sure they seem easy to you, but they're very complicated to people. So really generous of the Central Depository Services to be so gracious in accepting our invitation and to handhold distressed investors. Let me now introduce Mr. Nitin Ambure. He's a Bachelor of Engineering and a Master's of Management Studies from the Bombay University. He's been working with CDSL as Vice President Operations for more than 2 years. He's also had a long stint with NSDL. Now, this is really important because people have questions about CDSL and NSDL, and we're getting two in one over here. He's worked there in various capacities. His overall experience has been more than 23 years in capital markets and the financial sector. We also are really pleased to have Mr. Farooq Patel, Vice President, Audit, Inspection and Compliance, join in this discussion, and he has offered to help with specific queries that are in his area. So welcome and thank you both for joining us. And over to you, Nitin ji, straight away.
Yeah. Thank you, Sucheta. A very good evening to everybody. And the way I am going to conduct this session is that initially I will take you through a brief PPT just to set the context of the presentation right and the discussion right, because there have been recent happenings in the capital market because of which this webinar is getting conducted. And I initially, to set the context of this discussion, I will take you through a brief PPT, and that will also cover many of the queries which are there in the investor fraternity currently. After that, I will have a brief 3-4 talking points and just general guidelines for the investors as to what they have to do in future and how they can safeguard their investments and what are the steps they can take as to how they can be alert investors. And then we can throw the floor open for questions. So I'm now sharing my screen. Just give me a moment. Okay, to give you all a background. So basically, the background in which this webinar is getting conducted is there have been a couple of instances of defaults. And I will not go into the details of the regulatory orders because these are in the public domain. So those who are interested can definitely go to the stock exchange websites or SEBI websites, and these orders are very much there in the public domain. But to set the regulatory background for the first entity, Karvy, see, NSE issued a circular on November 23, 2020, wherein inter alia they informed about expulsion of membership of Karvy Stock Broking. BSE also followed on the next day, wherein they also inter alia informed about the expulsion of membership of Karvy. And there was a SEBI confirmatory order on November 24, 2020, which directed all the exchanges and depositories to take appropriate action against Karvy. Now, the basic premise of a depository participant or an eligibility criteria for a stockbroker to become a DP is that it needs to be a member of the exchange. So basically, since Karvy had lost its membership of both the exchanges, basically the eligibility criteria for remaining a depository participant no longer existed. So Karvy was no longer meeting the criteria to remain a DP, and then CDSL, as per its bylaws, has then terminated Karvy with effect from EOD of November 26, 2020. So this is just a regulatory background. But I will take you further. There was an interim order. Investors also need to know that there was also an interim order against Karvy, and this was about a year ago. So it is not that this is a very recent development. It has struck only in November 23, 2020. But there was an order about a year ago against the same entity in the same matter. So that was an interim order, and now it is the final order. Now, against Anugrah, I will give you the regulatory background. Again, NSE was issued a circular on September 4, 2020, wherein they withdrew the trading rights and disabled the trading terminals of Anugrah in all segments of NSE. And it was with immediate effect from September 4, 2020, before market hours based on regulatory concerns. BSE then issued its notice on September 4, 2020, wherein they deactivated the trading terminals of Anugrah in all segments with immediate effect from September 4. And there was a SEBI order dated November 13, 2020, wherein Anugrah was suspended by SEBI till completion of all the inquiry proceedings. SEBI has further directed stock exchanges to expedite the proceedings to declare Anugrah as a defaulter. You may also be aware there is information in the public domain that there were arbitration matters, and these are actually being also being considered in the Bombay High Court against Anugrah. And then CDSL has terminated Anugrah as a DP of CDSL with effect from EOD of November 26, 2020. This again is as per CDSL bylaws. I will be touching upon it in the near future. So now we have received a lot of questions against the CDSL communique which we issued on November 26, 2020. So basically, what was the CDSL communique which we issued on November 26, 2020 all about? So wherein we issued communiques, basically depositories issue communiques to the depository participants and the register and transfer agents. So these are the capital market intermediary who serve the investors as well as the corporate fraternity who actually do the transactions in the depositories. So basically, depositories issue the communiques to these two entities. So CDSL has issued a communique to the depository participants and the register and transfer agents, wherein it informed that Karvy now ceases to be a DP of CDSL effective from EOD of November 26, 2020. We also directed the clients holding account with Karvy that they will have an option of getting their securities transferred to their account held with any other DP within 15 days by contacting Karvy. So basically, this was the communique which was issued by CDSL in respect of Karvy. And similar communique in respect of in respect of Anugrah was issued by CDSL on November 27, 2020. So wherein we informed that Anugrah ceases to be a DP of CDSL effective from EOD of November 26, 2020. And similarly, like Karvy, the clients who are holding their account with Anugrah shall have an option of getting their securities transferred to their account held with any other DP within 15 days by contacting Anugrah. Now, we have received some queries. What is the sanctity of this 15 days? So as I told you that this communique and all these actions have been taken in terms of the CDSL bylaws. So we have a bylaw wherein in terms of a termination of DP, we have to give a notice to the beneficial owners of 15 days, wherein they have an option to get securities transferred to any other account, or they can open a new account, or else then there is another process of nomination, which I will talk in the subsequent slides. So basically, all these actions what we are taking are in terms of the CDSL bylaws. Now, this slide will actually address a few more queries which we received telephonically on emails. That basically in the communique and the letters which we have written to the clients, there are two dates. So agreement with DP, both these DPs was terminated with effect from EOD of November 26, 2020. And as I mentioned, that there is a 15-day notice period given to the beneficial owners to take actions to move their securities to other accounts. And that is the reason the terminal of both these depository participants will be deactivated on the December 11, 2020. So if you see, there is a 15-day notice period given to all beneficial owners of these DPs. Clients have been advised to take immediate steps to transfer the securities to account with another depository participant before December 11, 2020. And in case of clients who are not having a demat account, see, most of the clients currently who are transacting regularly in the stock markets generally have 2-3 accounts, multiple accounts. Just like we have multiple bank accounts, generally people who are regular investors and all will definitely have multiple accounts. But in case of any client who is having only single account and that account was with this depository participants, then the clients need to open a new demat account in the same order of names as in the existing demat account with any other DP of their choice. Now, this account opening process is very simple. Actually, you just have to approach any of the DP. If you just go to the CDSL website, how to open a demat account, if you go in the investor section, there is a section called how to open a demat account. You can go to that section. You can get a list of all the DPs which are available, say, in your city, in your area. And then you can also see the tariff, the services which are offered by all these DPs, and you can select a DP of your choice. Secondly, opening a demat account is also a very quick process. It is not that it takes time and all. You only need a proof of identity and proof of address document. So basically, in fact, most of the DPs have now enabled technology platforms wherein if you can just give your PAN and your Aadhaar-based authentication takes care of all the KYC process. And in fact, clients need not even go out of their residences to actually open an account. In fact, I can tell you during the last 7-8 months of pandemic, we have opened millions of accounts already, and in the sense in a very seamless manner. So clients need not actually go to the DP's office to open an account. The account opening process can be handled by the client right from his residence. He just needs to contact the DP and telephonically, and in case he needs any help on the technology platform, he can obviously contact the DP official. Also, in case there are any other issues where he needs clarifications, also there are CDSL helpdesk numbers on our website, and we will definitely assist the people in case they want to open new accounts. Now, we have also said that for accounts which are having nil balances, this is like a notice of closure of Demat account, because once the DP is terminated, then the account with nil balance anyway, in the sense, is not going to serve any purpose after, because on December 11, the DP of the terminal is going to get deactivated. So this letter which we have sent, there are many investors who may be holding accounts with these entities, but they are having nil balances. So those accounts will get closed after December 11, 2020 without any further intimation. And in fact, the letters or the communication what we have sent to the client, that is a notice for closure of Demat account. So basically, this covers the whatever. There were many queries raised in respect of the communications or the letters which CDSL sent to the investors. So these are the points which cover that. Now, what are the actions to be taken by clients? So basically, as I said in the earlier slide, transfer of securities to another account or new account. So first, you need to choose if you have another Demat account, well and good. Otherwise, you need to open a new account, as I explained in the previous slide. Then you need to take up a matter with the concerned DP for transfer of securities to other account or new account opened with DP of choice till December 11, 2020. So till December 11, 2020, our bylaws also have provisions wherein these DPs, although these DPs have got terminated with effect from EOD of November 26, for the period of further 15 days, they will definitely serve and cater to the investors for the limited purpose of transfer of securities to their existing or new accounts. So these DPs will definitely have to honor all these requests as per the CDSL bylaws. After December 11, 2020, what will happen? That is the question which is there in the minds of many investors. So after December 11, 2020, that is after the expiry of the 15-day notice period, DPs will become both these DPs will become, or they will be called as CDSL managed DPs, pursuant to which clients will have to approach CDSL for transfer of securities. So the common concern among the investor fraternity is that it looks like there is only 15-day time period, and after that, like, there is no end. So that is not the case. Actually, after 15 days, CDSL will be managing these accounts. Basically, we call it as a CDSL managed DP. So the investors, like for example, if somebody is not able to open an account in the next 15 days and is not able to complete the transfer till December 11, 2020, then he will have to write to CDSL, of course, he will open the account, say after 20 days, after 25 days, whenever, because he's late in opening a new account. So after he does and open a new account, he will then write to CDSL and making a request to transfer his securities. He will also enclose a copy of his PAN card and a copy of the DP client master of his new account. So based on that request, CDSL officials will actually enable the transfer of securities from their existing account with these two DPs to the new account. So that is the reason we call it as a CDSL managed DP. So the point of service will be a department of CDSL which will assist the investors in actually getting the securities moved from the accounts held with these two deposit participants to the new account, either a new or an existing account. And I would also would like to mention about a process called nomination, because currently, you see, we are on December 2, and the date of termination or deactivation of terminal is December 11, 2020. The situation is evolving day by day. There will be many developments, and I am sure that there could be some developments, and that is the reason I am talking about a process called nomination of accounts to other DP. So that is a possibility. So for that, investors will need to await for further instructions from CDSL in such a scenario. Now, what happens in nomination, I will tell you that, for example, if there is a DP which has got terminated, like current scenario when there are two DPs which have got terminated. So now the investors who are holding accounts with these two DPs will definitely try to move the securities to either a new account or their existing other account with other DPs. But in order to actually assist this seamless shift of accounts from one DP to other DP, if there are requests from some other DPs to CDSL to take over the accounts, then CDSL will consider those requests. Of course, we will have to select a DP. The DP has to be of commensurate size to take over these accounts, and also he needs to have a wide geographical nationwide presence, because these DPs, as you are aware, like Karvy had a nationwide presence. So we also need to find out who are the nominee candidates, nomination candidates, and if we select a candidate, a DP who is an existing DP of CDSL as a nominee DP, then this process of nomination will take over. So what will happen in that process is, just like we have received, all the investors have received an intimation from CDSL. This intimation was an information about termination or a notice for closure of nil accounts. You will receive another intimation from CDSL, wherein, like, say, for example, that we have received a proposal from ABC Limited, who is another DP, to take over these depository accounts from these existing DPs. So in case you want to, basically we'll give the investors another 15 days time. So they have another 15 days time. If they don't want to shift that account to that nominee DP, no, then they can still have another 15 days, and they can shift the account to some other DP of their choice, or open a new account quickly within those 15 days and shift it to that account. Otherwise, then all these accounts will be en masse be moved over to the DP who is taking as an who is a nomination DP. So basically, this is also a scenario which takes place in cases of terminated DPs. So I wanted to mention it because we are on December 2 today. We need to monitor the situation. In case there is some development on this front, then again CDSL will be writing to all investors about informing about the nomination facility and who is that DP. And it is the investor's choice again, that whether they want their demat account to get administered by the new DP, who CDSL has chosen as a nominated DP, or else they are of course free to open an account with any other DP and get the accounts at that. So the question basically which is there in the minds of all investors is that December 11, 2020 is the date of termination or deactivation of the terminals of those depository participants. That doesn't mean that it does not end the process of transfer of your securities from your account to other accounts. So either there is a CDSL managed DP process, or else of course there is a possibility of a nomination. So basically this is the presentation which I wanted to cover. I will just stop my sharing now. So some of the points, of course, we have received some questions, but before that, because see, there is a lot of anxiety in the minds of investors, and currently, in any case, even there are pandemic times, and the news is not that good anyway. And now these two things have happened in the capital market, so there's a lot of things which are there in the investors' mind. So, in fact, we have received some of the questions wherein people are saying that whether the securities, if they are CDSL managed DPs, are they safe and all. So in that context, I would like to make a few points. That first of all, see, we need to understand the structure of the depository system in the country. The depository system is a two-tier structure. So all the basically the information of all your transactions holding is maintained in the central depository systems. So the architecture of the system is such that it's a centralized database. So the information of all investors and the transactions and the holdings are available in the central depository systems. So they are available with the depositories. So just because one or two depository participants are no longer operational, a depository participant is an entity who actually services the investors. So he is the immediate point of contact for the investors who services their transactions. So just because one or two point of service contacts for the investors are not available, that doesn't mean that the information which is available in the central depository system, there is any issue with that. All the information is definitely there in the centralized database system. We should also be thankful to our regulators, because see, when this depository system was introduced in the country, I think there was a lot of vision, and basically India has gone in for a segregated account opening structure, which means that each investor account is held in the name of the investor as a beneficial owner, and it's a two-tier structure. So basically, depository participants are electronically connected to the depository, and depository participants can open only a beneficial owner account. So each investor, like it is having an individual ledger in the name of each investor in the centralized database of depositories. So if you look at some other jurisdictions, it is not like that. There are jurisdictions which also have omnibus account opening. So in such scenarios, then there will be a lot of operational issues. So India luckily has, and with a lot of great thought process, has gone in for this structure, wherein it's a segregated account structure. So each investor account information is lying with the depository. So be rest assured on that front. It is just that a point of service, your point of service, who was your existing DP for so many, he could be a DP for so many years, but he is no longer currently in service. But that anyway doesn't affect the value of the securities lying in the depository system. So these are a couple of points which I wanted to make. Now, going forward, before we go with the questions, I am sure you will be having a lot of questions in respect of these two depository participants. But I will briefly end my talk by giving you some guidelines that typically what happens is, like, see, as you are aware that basically this is an investment field, and all of us are actually investing our hard-earned money in these investments. So it is our duty to actually track this our investments on a regular basis. Just like we actually verify our bank account statements regularly, we need to actually monitor our depository accounts. And the depositories have actually made it very simpler for you to monitor your demat accounts. It is not that you only need to wait for the statement from your depository participant. The depositories have enabled web-enabled services. Like in case of CDSL, we have an easy service and we have an easiest service. So it's very simple to register for, and the information is available on the CDSL website. So any investor who holds an account in CDSL can actually go to the CDSL website and register if he has a mobile number and if he has an email and his other information is already there in the depository system. He can easily, in a very convenient manner, register himself for easy and easiest facility. Now, what happens in this easy facility is that on a day-to-day basis, you can track your demat account. What is the value of your securities and what are the quantity of securities you hold. So it is like having a daily view of your demat account. You can also see it on your mobile app. So basically, these are facilities which investors should know. And if you register, and these are services which we offer directly to the investors, and these are offered without any cost. So if you register for easy, you can actually access all your demat account information through the CDSL website itself or the app. Similarly, if you want to do transactions electronically, then you need to register for an easiest facility. Again, that easiest facility is a digital service which is offered to depository participants, wherein you can actually transact and move securities from one account to other accounts. We have two types. I am not going to put details, but there are two types of easiest registrations, wherein if you want to have a password-based access, then you can transfer securities to any 4 demat accounts of your choice. So it could be the account of your regular broker, it could be a family member. So a password-based easiest access will give you the ability to move securities to 4 demat accounts of your choice. In case you want to do transactions to a wider number of people or larger number of accounts, then of course you have to go to an account of choice facility, wherein the transactions are digital based. So the authentication is based on digital signature. So these are a couple of services which all the investors should actually, if you are not registered so far, kindly visit the depository website and register yourself for these two services. In addition to that, there is a facility called SMART, where is basically SMS alerts related to your transactions which CDSL offers. So for that, you just have to approach your depository participant and give your mobile number in case you are already not given a mobile number, and you can register for this SMART facility. So with the SMART facility, you get an alert, just like a banking, like whenever you withdraw money or you do any kind of a transaction, immediately you get an SMS. Similar facility is extended by the depositories through this SMART facility. So whenever there is any kind of a modification in your account, for example, if there is a modification in change in address or in case of a change in nominee, then again you get an SMS. For any debit transaction, you get SMSs. And there are various kind of SMSs we send, like in case you have invested in IPO and you get shares. So that all that information is available on the CDSL website. So my request to all investors would be that if in case you people have not registered yourself for these internet-based services and these mobile-based services, then kindly register yourself. So that will help you in tracking your demat account regularly, on a daily basis. So just like you track your bank accounts habitually, some of the investors do not track the demat account that habitually. But in order to cultivate that habit, we can actually register to this internet-based services and this SMART, which is a mobile-based service of the CDSL depository system. and that will help you to actually transact regularly and actually track your Demat account very regularly. So with this, actually, I would like to close my opening remarks, and now we can probably go for the questions. So I will go through. I will also read the question for the benefit of all the audience. So first question is: can you explain the communique of November 26 with deadline of 12 December to transfer shares out of Karvy DP accounts and the process? So which is what I covered in my presentation. In fact, the core issue or the core query in the minds of investors is what are these two dates about? So which I explained. November 26 is the date of termination because we have to terminate the DP with immediate effect, as we said that it is in terms of our bylaws. Of course, he continues to service the investors for 15 days for a limited purpose of transferring the accounts. And the deadline of 12 December, that is 11 December EOD actually to be precise, is the date when when the DP terminals of these two entities will get deactivated. Now the next question is CDSL mail states in case you don't have any balance securities, Demat account will be closed without further notice. Currently, we don't have any shares in our Demat account, but we have in Karvy pool account the shares which they have kept in their pool account instead of keeping it in our Demat account. So, according to mail by December 11, if our Demat account will get closed, since currently our security balance is zero, what to do? How Karvy can settle out securities from their pool account to our Demat account in future? So basically, see, this question is about what happens to the accounts wherein the investors who are holding shares in the Karvy pool account. Now about the pool account, let me tell you that there is a clear-cut rule that the pool account which is used by a broker for the settlement transactions, there is a clear-cut rule wherein after the pay-in or payout transactions are affected, there is a timeline of only 24 hours wherein the entity can actually hold the securities in his pool account, and within those 24 hours, he has to transfer it to the BO account. Now, the question which is being asked in this in this query is that basically they may have some arrangement wherein Karvy may be moving securities to another account which they call as pool account, and what is to be done in those cases? So the answer would be that they will have to take up with Karvy within this 11-12 days which are there, and they will actually have to get the securities moved to their existing Demat account, and then the process of transfer or shifting what I explained will follow. The next question, what is the position on shares in Karvy's pool account? How will investors get those credited back to the Demat account? Again, repetitive the same question as I said earlier. How can we get our money back which was kept in Karvy Demat depository account? Now, as I said, see, the depositories actually act as a custodian of securities. So the money transactions between you and the broker do not fall within the purview of the depository. So you will have to take it up with the exchanges because the exchanges are also involved in this. Exchanges have also initiated actions against Karvy Stock Broking Limited. So you will have to take these matters and refer it to the exchanges because the matter related to funds are handled and they are within the purview of the exchanges. CDSL is mentioning that they are terminating Anugrah on 11 December, but in case where there is a lock-in period of shares like Yes Bank, then what to do in such cases as it will not be transferred as it is in lock-in period. See, we in CDSL depository system, we have something called as an account transfer module or an account shifting module, wherein what happens is that if you want to close your existing account and you want to en masse move all the securities in one account and transfer it to the new account, then you just have to give such a request to your DP, and through this account shifting module, all your securities from one account will get transferred to your account, to your another account. Of course, another account has to be in the same order of names and it has to be exactly identical, and then this module can be used. The beauty of this module is that even locked-in securities can get transferred through this module. So, just by merely the securities being under lock-in, that does not stop it from being transferred to the other account. You can definitely transfer it. But suppose but I would like to complete the answer in another by adding one thing, that in case your new account is in the other depository system, in the other depository, that is NSDL, then of course this movement will then have to get effected through the issuer. So basically, if for example your existing Demat account is with Karvy in the CDSL system and your new account is in the other depository, and you want to transfer the locked-in shares of Yes Bank from your account in CDSL to the other depository, then you will have to make a request to Yes Bank, and they have a process. All the issuers have a process for transferring locked-in shares from one account to other account. Like for example, the locked-in shares are due to various regulations, like even some of the promoter shares are locked in, or else there is some other statutory requirement wherein this lock-in is imposed. And there are definitely there are scenarios wherein the locked-in shares have to get transferred from one account to other account, and all these lock-in shares are facilitated, or these kind of lock-in transfers are facilitated by the issuer through the corporate action process. So that covers this question. If CDSL closes Anugrah account, what happens to the pool account shares that were given for pledging security? This is not again very clear, but I would like to probably understand the question as if your account is closed, then what will happen to the pool account shares? You will have to take it, as I told in the case of Karvy, you will have to take it with your DP, that is Anugrah, and you will have to get those securities transferred to your existing account in Anugrah within this 15 days, and then you can transfer it to your other account. The next question is, my securities are in my name in CDSL account held with Anugrah, but Anugrah kept rejecting my online transfer of securities. I received an email from CDSL mentioning they are terminating all Demat accounts. Anugrah on 11 December. My shares are stuck in limbo in my CDSL account with Anugrah. Any advice on how can I move them out from that despite Anugrah rejecting my online transfer claims? See, as I explained you in the presentation, till December 11, you will have to depend on Anugrah to actually transfer the securities. But suppose after December 11, what happens is that, as I said, that it will become, this Anugrah Demat accounts will become a CDSL managed DPs. So you can definitely then write to NSDL and write to CDSL, sorry, and execute the transaction for transferring securities from your CDSL account to your new account. Today, Anugrah investors received mail from CDSL that they are about to close agreement with Anugrah and asked to transfer whatever scripts available to their respective other Demat accounts. If this happens, who will give the data like transaction of transfer, actual script, quantity, pledge consider? As I said, after December 11, it becomes a CDSL managed DP. So you can definitely approach CDSL and for any kind of information till it remains a CDSL managed DP. Karvy has credited 80% of my shares to CDSL depository account. Is it safe in CDSL repository? Since CDSL has said it is going to deactivate Karvy on 11 December 2020. After CDSL deactivates Karvy, is it possible to transfer shares in CDSL account associated with Karvy to any other DP? As I said about the safety, I already covered in my talking points. About the transfer, basically, as I said, once again, I repeat the same thing, that till December 11, you can definitely take up the matter with Karvy. And if it is not shifted within that period, then it will become a CDSL managed DP, and you will have to then take up the matter with CDSL. What help can investors get to obtain details about their accounts in order to lodge claims with NSE, BSE, Investor Protection Fund? Could you throw some light on this process and eligibility? This actually does not fall within the purview of the depository per se, because the broking domain is actually under the stock exchanges. So basically, you will have to approach the NSE and the BSE Investor Protection Fund. Probably the Money Life Foundation and all, I'm sure, will have a contact with the exchanges, and they can facilitate such assistance to the investors with the exchanges. But this is within the exchange domain. Back in July, I sought for account closure for my Karvy Demat account. Non-pledged shares were transferred seamlessly within a month. Now the pledged shares have been credited recently to my Karvy account. How do I move it to another broker? Again, this question is not clear, but I take it that basically his pledged shares were non-pledged shares got transferred seamlessly, and he's talking about the pledged shares. So in case of pledged shares, I would like to explain that in case of pledged shares, it will not be seamlessly transferred the way I explained in case of account shifting and all. Basically, the pledger and the pledgee have entered into a pledge transaction. So the pledger will have to go to the pledgee, and basically he will have to unpledge the securities first so that the securities can get transferred. So pledged securities will not get transferred like in a pledged manner. They will have to unpledge those securities for a limited purpose, and then they can get transferred. Karvy has credited some of my shares to CDSL depository account in the past few months. Are my shares safe in CDSL repository, since CDSL has said it's going to deactivate Karvy on 11 December? After CDSL deactivates Karvy, is it possible to transfer shares in CDSL account associated with Karvy to any other DP? As I said, after December 11, basically it becomes a CDSL managed DP. So again, you will be writing to CDSL, and CDSL officials will actually enable you to transfer the securities to the new account. I have Zerodha Demat account. So is it possible to transfer shares, the ones which are credited to CDSL as of now, from Karvy to Zerodha through CDSL easiest and avoid offline mode? I already spoke about our easiest service. So yes, online mode is a very efficient mode of conveniently transfer securities, and it is totally within your control. You can actually see the transfer getting effected, like just like you execute electronic banking transactions. It is exactly similar. So you can definitely execute these transfers through an online mode from Karvy to Zerodha account. Another question, my question is that locked-in bonds, which are of Rural Electrical Corporation, be transferred out of Anugrah Demat account. So yes, they can be transferred. As I said, within CDSL to CDSL, it can get transferred through the account shifting module itself. Of course, if you want to transfer it to other depository, then you will have to approach Rural Electrical Corporation for the corporate action process and get it transferred through the corporate action route. If Anugrah is not transferring the shares left in the Demat account despite multiple requests, what is the alternative path in claim form that have asked? And in the claim form, they have asked the securities kept for margin, what value should we take? Now, again, this is a question which is pertaining to the claims filed with the exchanges. So probably we may not be able to exactly throw light on this. So basically, we will have to refer to the form, but I'm sure the exchanges which have initiated this process, I'm sure they have a team of officials who are there to assist investors, and they will be happy to answer these queries. And again, there is one more question, procedure involved in filling the CDSL form. Now, this question is not very clear, but I take it as in case the CDSL form, meaning if he is meaning the account opening form, then of course the DP will guide him. If he is meaning to the claim form, then it again comes to under the purview of the stock exchanges. There is another set of 5 questions which I will take. Yeah. The next question is, what happens to my holdings that are still reflecting the Anugrah CDSL DP after 11 December? So this has got already covered. So basically after 11 December, it becomes a CDSL managed DP. And then as I assured you that and the entire investor information is in the centralized depository system. So only your point of service contact, that is Anugrah, may not be active as a DP terminal with after December 12, but your account information is very well there in the central depository system, and you can basically approach CDSL because CDSL managed DP team will actually service you. Will CDSL take over the process of transferring or remat of securities on their own? See, CDSL themselves as a depository does not take over the process of transfer or remat. The process is such that the process is always initiated by the investors. So basically, as I said, that you will have to initiate the transfer. If you don't have another account, you will have to open the account. Or if you have an existing account, then you can actually give the transfer request and you can get the securities moved to your account. Will the historic data be available on request from CDSL, like holding and transaction details after 11 December 2020? Yes, as I said, the historic data will be very much available, and you can contact CDSL officials, and we will make sure that whatever information you need after December 11, if it is a CDSL managed DP, then we will be glad to provide you that information. Some of my mutual funds are having a lock-in as they are tax saver funds. What will be the procedure to transfer these funds? Again, the same, like this question was similar to the Yes Bank question. So basically, if your securities are under lock-in, within CDSL to CDSL, it gets seamlessly shifted. From CDSL to NSDL, of course, you will have to approach the issuer and get it shifted through the corporate action route. Anugrah has rejected my transfer request on multiple occasions, expressing that I have a debit balance in my account. However, my trade data and ledger shows a profit. How can this issue be involved? Now, again, this question is related to funds. So the question related to funds now, and the broking domain is under the stock exchanges. So this investor needs to approach the stock exchanges. I'm sure they will find the solution to address the issue. So with this, actually, whatever the questions are already circulated, I have done with them. So we can have the discussion further.
So Nitin, thank you so much. I think this is very clear. So if I understand correctly, this panic about December 11th and 12th is completely needless, because in fact, Karvy and Anugrah have not been answering people. After it moves to CDSL, it may be better for investors, do you think?
See, as I said, to sum up the situation, actually, the situation definitely does not call for panic. But yes, I would say that definitely the situation calls for some urgency on the part of the investors. Now, the investor has a choice. Like, for example, those investors who already hold an existing alternate demat account. Like for example, if I already have 3-4 accounts, one account is with these entities, but there are other accounts with say another entity, then I can easily get the securities transferred from these entities to my other demat accounts. In case of those investors who don't have an alternate demat account, they need to choose whether they want to open in new demat account. As I said, see, opening a demat account is a one-day process nowadays. Even within a day, you can open an account. So if an investor even chooses to open a new account, say today, within a couple of days, the account will get active, and they can still do the transfer prior to December 11. But suppose if there is an investor, suppose the investor has not even received our communication or has not understood our communication, what happens on December 12? So that is what I said, that the investors, these investor accounts will then become CDSL managed DP accounts. And he can then approach after December 12, his point of service will then change from his existing DP to CDSL. The process of shifting will remain same. Only thing is that CDSL, it becomes a CDSL managed DP, so CDSL officials will be administering those accounts. And of course, I also mentioned of a possibility of call nomination. So if that happens, then of course, then they have another option of another 15 days. If, for example, if there is an entity, say ABC, who is chosen by CDSL to be the nominated DP of these investor accounts, the investor again has a choice that whether they want the account to get moved to that DP, and they have a 15-day time period, or else they can again open an account of their choice with any other DP and then get securities moved within those 15 days. Again, within those 15 days, CDSL officials will help them to transfer the securities.
Okay, thanks so much. Arvind, I think take the hands raised questions, but I'm requesting everybody, please don't ask repetitive questions so that we can take the maximum benefit from Nitin's time here.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So I can see Mr. Kaustubh Kale who's first. So can you please unmute and ask your question?
Yes, Nitin sir, firstly, thank you Moneylife for this and thank you Nitin sir for the clarity given. If I have made a login in CDSL Easy, is it possible for me to upgrade it to Easiest and then transfer? Because I understand there is some involvement from Karvy also required in terms of authorization, or is that not the case?
No, you can easily upgrade. If you are already logged in through MyEasy, then you can easily upgrade through Easiest. And there is a requirement from Karvy, but as I said, see, as per the CDSL bylaws, see, although they are what terminated with effect from November 26, for the limited purpose of facilitating investor transfers, they still continue to service all those transactions. So, and they are very much operational, so they will assist you in doing that. So, yes, wherever you require Karvy assistance, you can definitely approach them. And in case of any difficulty, you can also contact CDSL helpdesk officials, and we can assist you in actually getting your transfer getting effected seamlessly.
Nitin, I'll just add here. Hello, can you hear me, Nitin?
Yeah,
yes,
yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
In this particular case, since the DP has already been terminated, if you register yourself now for Easy and then go for upgrade for Easiest, that won't be possible in these two entities now because they have been terminated. So they wouldn't be doing that. But if you have with any other accounts, yes, after registering yourself for Easy, where you don't require anybody's assistance, once you get yourself registered for Easy, you can upgrade to Easiest, but over there, the DP's authentication is required.
Thank you for that, sir. So we can move on to the next question now. We have a Mr. Viha Shah. Can you please unmute and ask your question?
Yeah. Thank you, Moneylife Foundation and Nitinji for sharing such a knowledge with us. My question was regarding BMA Wealth Creators, which was stopped, or we can say it was suspended in September 2019 and declared defaulter in February 2020. We have already submitted claims, and for the last 5 to 6 months, exchange is saying that it is under audit process. And another question was that at what price we will receive our shares, whether we will receive shares back or we will receive some price, or at which price.
So this question, as I said, now the exchanges are the best entities to answer your question, because see, they actually handle this entire process. So regarding what price and your claim will be settled and all, you will have to actually approach the exchanges. So CDSL will not be able to provide you any information on this. It falls within the purview and the domain of the stock exchanges.
Mr. Nagaraj, can you please unmute?
Yeah, thank you, Moneylife, as well as thank you, Ms. Nitin. Ms. Nitin, I'm facing continuous problem. I am registered for Easiest. I can see my mutual fund securities on CDSL website. For last 3 months, I'm raising these transactions and continuously Anugrah is rejecting the same. And I made a complaint to CDSL also. Sushant is looking after, but no development as such till date actually from either Anugrah or CDSL. On CDSL also registered complaint twice, thrice, but nothing has happened. Can you please suggest a way of action?
Yes, sir.
Farooq,
As
yeah, Farooq.
Nitin has already explained. See, what has happened is because of this thing, many people from both the entities have also resigned and gone. So they also don't have many people to enter. How many? There are very few people left over there. So we keep on pressurizing them to process all the instructions which the BO have given. But as my colleague Nitin has said that once they do not do it after 11th, we will assist you in transferring it to your new account. Till that time, till 11th of that, we have been pressurizing both the entities to do whatever transaction which the BOs have given. They have to fulfill that.
Mr. Malesh Gowda, can you please unmute?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. We can hear you.
Sir, I wanted to know that these same rules are applied for NSDL also. Is it different, or you won't need a call from them, their side also? And another thing is already I think you asked what should be done for the pooled account and how to get it. Over, sir. Thank you.
See, for the NSDL thing, you will have to approach NSDL. They will be able to guide you in this. And for the pooled account, as you said, say within this up to December 11, you have time to take up the matter with your DP and to get the securities transferred from that pool account, what they are mentioning, to your beneficiary owner account. And if it gets transferred prior to December 11, then you can definitely move it to your other alternate account or your new account, whatever you choose to. So the point is that you will have to take it up with, if your account is with Karvy, you will have to take it up with Karvy Stock Broking and get the securities moved from the pool account to your beneficiary owner account.
So just one clarification here. You know, when you talked earlier, you said that under the rules, the pool account can't have shares for more than 24 hours. And if they remain and investors seem to think that their shares are in a pool account, is this a legitimate pool account or is it something that they should not have been doing?
See this, because basically we'll have to look at what, when the investor says it's a pool account, we'll have to actually look at the actual account which they are referring to as pool account. The rule what I mentioned was is the pool account which is used for actually settling the pay-in and payout transactions with the stock exchanges. I do not have any exact information with the Karvy case, but probably it could be another account which they call it as a pool account, but it's an omnibus account which is opened by the entity, and they call it as a pool account, which is actually not a pool account, which is used for settling transactions with the clearing corporation.
So I don't want to embarrass you with this, but just for clarity, if that account is illegal, I mean, because that's what we've been hearing also, then it means that the straightforward process that you are advocating is not likely to work, right? So that will have to be looked at by SEBI or by some investigators on what this account was. Is that correct?
Yes, so these entities are already under investigation, and both the stock exchanges have already actually examined all these transactions. So I'm sure, in the sense, all this will be looked at. In the sense.
Virendra Malpe to unmute. Can you please unmute and ask your question?
Yeah, thank you, Moneylife and Nitinji, for an informative session. Yeah, my question was regarding the pool account only. So, what my question was, is it possible for CDSL to extract the transaction from the pool account if we give the pool account? Because all our shares were in the pool account, and whatever Anugrah has done, that were done in the pool account. But if we give our PAN ID and unique ID of the client code of the broker, is it possible for CDSL to extract those details for individual investor?
See, sir, mostly what you are referring is to seeking from your PAN to giving you details of what. Now, in the depository mode, this is a fungible transactions. So in pool accounts, the transactions will be coming from various accounts across the country. So it is not possible to keep a track on it. over and above that, this various investigations are already looking into it. So as of now, we will not be in a position to extract and give that to the beneficiary owners.
Because so whenever we transferred the share to the Anugrah DP, they were next day transferred to the pool account. So when we ask CDSL for transactions, they are only telling that the securities got into your account and next day they go into the pool account. So there is no other transaction which is visible in my Demat account.
To prove it to anybody else, to any authority that you have given shares to them, it has gone debited from your account and reached the pool account of the entity. That is most required, and that can be proved from your Demat statement, your transaction statement, and that is all what is required by you.
Thank you for sharing that, sir. So I think we've also received some comments from our YouTube channel. People are viewing this live on YouTube also. So there's a question that somebody has said, what should be taken as a precaution in the future? I think it's a quite generic question. So maybe if any one of you could just shed a light on that in maybe a minute or so, that would be really helpful, sir.
Yeah, so as I covered after my presentation, basically, see, the only solution is that we need to be alert. See, habitually, just like we track our bank accounts on a regular basis, we need to keep a tab on our Demat accounts regularly. And as I said, there's internet-based services which are offered by the depositories, and even the SMS alert-based facility which is offered by the depository, that actually enables the investors to track your Demat account. So, in the sense, if the investors are alert, more alert, and you are regularly tracking your investments, then in the sense, you can definitely actually have a bird's eye view of your Demat account regularly. Secondly, see, like for example, taking this current example also, it is not that, see, as I said, the interim order was about a year ago, but still, in the sense, investors, it was their choice to continue with those entities for more than a year or so. There would be, I'm sure, there would be a set of investors who would have already shifted their Demat accounts, but there are a large set of people who are still continuing with those entities. So eventually, it is a choice made by that investors to continue with that entity. Sometimes, like they have a feeling that okay, the entity may, in the sense, may continue its operations. So eventually, see, we have to, in the sense, address as in when how the situation arises. But you need to be alert, first of all, if in the sense, like the queries which are there in terms of the pool accounts and all. See whether those people were regularly actually tracking their investments, whether they are getting those shares and securities in their own Demat account. If they would have done it regularly, they would have followed up with the broker earlier also, and all those questions would have got resolved. So the answer lies only in regularly keeping a tab on your Demat account. And nowadays, technology has enabled people to actually keep a tab on your Demat account. You don't need to go to your DP. You just have to log into the internet or the mobile app, and you get all the information about your Demat account. So if you diligently track your investments in your Demat account, then chances of such scenarios happening are reduced.
So one small clarification, a couple of people have asked that if they owe money, so someone says I owe Karvy money, another says I have a debit balance in my account, and they've not been able to contact, there's nobody in Anugrah. So then when CDSL takes over after the 11th, they will be able to deal with you on that, right?
Yes, once it becomes a CDSL managed DP, then their transfer will get effective, because they don't have to then depend on Karvy for the actual shifting.
And they will pay CDSL, is it? So if they have a debit balance or they owe Karvy, so that money comes to CDSL?
No. See, we don't levy any fee for this transfer. This is a service which we are just providing for transfer of accounts from the terminated DP to the new Demat account. The matter about their funds, which probably Karvy will still raise the dues demand with the investors, but the actual movement of securities will not get impacted after December 11 because of that.
Okay, thanks. So Viral Savla has a question. Do you want to unmute yourself, Mr. Savla?
Hi everyone. Actually, I had 4 accounts in Farewell Security, which was defaulted in January 2020. So to address my pool shares, I raised my complaints in NSE and BSE portals. So due to this lockdown, the last date for the complaint got extended to October 31st, October 2020. but still I haven't received back anything on my complaints. So it's like it's a huge amount for us, us middle class people. So it's a huge amount for us for that.
Securities that comes under CDSL?
Sorry? Yeah, it comes under CDSL.
Okay, so we'll let them answer.
Yeah.
In reference to, see, you mentioned about BSE and NSE, this doesn't come under the purview of the depositories. This will be coming under the purview of the exchanges. So you'll have to go back to the exchanges to ask them what is the status of.
Okay, Mr. Praful has shared his question in the comments as well. Does the stock market participants in bracket stock exchange depositories have an early warning mechanism warning the retail investors about the performance of regular brokers? Discount. I can already see ma'am having a reaction to this. So maybe I think ma'am should also answer this. Discount brokers on regular basis, just like how stock performances are monitored. It should not come as a rude shock and surprise if there is a problem with DP participant in future.
So I think I'm going to allow Farooq and Nitin to answer this. But before that, we need to say that they have repeatedly said today that you have to be alert. Now, I'm getting calls today from somebody who's woken up after 3 months and realized that Anugrah has gone bust. Now, if you don't know for 3 months that your broker has become a defaulter and you're investing with him, there's a serious problem. So, there's no point in asking. There's no guarantees when you come to the market because it's okay to say risk hai to ishq hai, but you will have to be focused on, what you're investing in because equity is about risk and you will have to be alert. There is no alternative. It's not like a public sector bank fixed deposit that it's going to remain there. And even that may not remain there as, comfortably as you think it will. So with this, I'm going to ask Nitin and Farooq to make their closing remarks and say what they have to, because they have a lot of experience dealing with investors and what happens and when they wake up. Nitin, you first.
Yeah, the closing remark would be the investors will have to be alert. And referring to that last question, yes, early warnings were given in the market. As my colleague Nitin had said, this has been happening since 1 year, and the communications and interim orders was coming out or already out in the public domain. So we as investors will have to be alert when we are dealing with the stock market.
Okay, so then we need to wind up by saying thank you so much, Farooq and Nitin, for a wonderful presentation, for being so clear and concise. And this was really much needed. And we really appreciate you coming on to this webinar at such short notice and answering all our queries. Thank you.